Good morning. This is Free to Future with a brand new episode of Woke Your Butt Up. I put on some cuter underwear in preparation for this video, and then I was like, let me just show you these shorts that I actually woke up in with them. So, a couple of things I want to talk about today. One is it feels really good to be a witch. It feels really good to be in the space of sisterhood and connection and doing some magic. I was at Wild Woman Fest, 200 naked ladies on a mountaintop for 5 days, remembering my power and remembering the inherent power in all of us and in our direct relatedness to the divine. We talk about energy field leaks. I was experiencing some pain in my neck and my shoulder and in my low back, and chronic pain in my low back and my hip over here. And I've had some interactions with energy workers before around it, and just a lot of fluff of analysis of why does it feel like this, and interpretations. If you've ever read Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Body or You Can Heal Yourself, whatever it is, she talks a lot about the meanings of different parts of the body to the subconscious. So, pains in the shoulders having to do with responsibility, and I buy all that. I think that the body is the physicalized manifestation of the subconscious, and when we experience injuries or pain, that this is information from our energetic body describing misalignment of our or unconsciousness of our true nature. And so, but yeah, then I sort of take this really hard on myself, and when I have an injury or an illness, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing some work to resolve that misalignment. And I panic, and I go, oh my God, perfectionism and all this stuff comes up, right? So I had a really powerful healing with a sister who described to me just how to visualize the field of energy around me, right? Like arms with, this direction, that direction, and what does it look like? What's coming to you intuitively? And I saw like all these, I imagined, I visualized when I did that exercise in a sweep. My intuition told me that there were like all these leaks and shards and things in my field back here, and okay, go in and smooth it out. And anyway, all this to say that your imagination is not just frivolous nothingness, it's energy also moving, and your intuition world matters as much as your physical world, your imagination, your mental state, your perspective, the ways that you're treating yourself, your habits of mind, they're creating your physical world. My physical world, anyway. The other thing I wanted to talk about this morning. Another thing I got from Wild Woman Fest from Danielle Dulski, who's an amazing witch and author, talking about the presence of grief and gratitude side by side. That grief is really just the sadness of loving, of the transition of that, and that grief is really healthy and desired and honors the passage of what we care about. We often think about, letting go of what no longer serves us and getting rid of the things that aren't in alignment. And I'm saying, like, I don't want to get rid of them exactly. I want to transmute them. I want to bury them in the earth when they die, and I want to let them compost. And then I want something new to grow from that. I don't need to throw it out. I need to get rid of it. It's all this throwing it out culture that got us into this mess. We don't need to throw anything out. We get to honor it. We get to love it. We get to acknowledge that it really is dead, instead of trying to beat a horse that's already dead, beat a dead horse, and you know what I mean with that one. Honoring what dies instead of trying to artificially keep everything alive forever and never letting the cycles move. It takes a much more, reincarnation, right? If you believe that we live more than once, it's like much easier to allow things to die and live again and die and live again. We're not so attached to the first iteration, thinking that there's never going to be anything else. And speaking what hurts with love, I had a really big breakthrough around this misunderstanding with a sister, or whatever, a moment of harsh words, and a feeling of really being like betrayed and hurt and not seen, but also knowing this woman, her integrity, and what she stands for in the world, and that there's no way that she meant for me to feel this deep sadness that I felt from her words. And so confronting her, and not from a place of like, hey, well, let me tell you what you did to me, is more like, hey, can we talk, right? Creating consent for the container. Yes, we can talk, okay. Do you remember what you said to me? No, she didn't remember. That's how different our awarenesses were at that moment. And then, okay, well, let me remind you what you said. And this is how it made me feel. Right? Not you did this, but this is how it made me feel. I really did it. Because I could see that it wasn't about her being wrong. It was about me having feelings that were hurt. My boundary had been crossed in my own perception, whether or not she meant to do that, right? My boundary had been crossed, and I desired to reestablish the boundary and the awareness of what made me feel safe, so that love could move between us again freely. And it took a couple of tries, but then I ended up weeping in this woman's lap for like a half an hour, just describing to her all my triggers around what she had said. And ultimately what we came to was that like it wasn't that anything was wrong, it was just that there were even more precise and conscious words that could be used in the space of this facilitation that would make more spaciousness for any person in the workshop. It was an admonishment, to give you more detail, it was an admonishment to go deeper at a moment when I felt like I was already as deep as I could possibly be, and a kind of like dismissal of where I was at. And yeah, that's never her intention. And that became really clear, and I knew that anyway to begin with, which is why I had so tenderly approached this conversation of like, hey, I'm really hurt, but I also know that we love each other and that we want to restore conversations. So I'm thinking a lot about that, and about how to apply that to other places in my life. And now the doorbell is ringing in this beautiful communal house that I've moved into, and I'm gonna go tend to it. So I love you, and welcome back to Talmbout, and have a great day.